Sorry about the light. It's like super dark because it's just really dark. Hey everybody, it's Pepper here. This video will be about my former relationships, dates, whatever you want to call them. There's been a few experiences while I've like been on dates or like hanging out with friends or whatever. This will just kind of lead into a couple of them because they're kind of short. The first one I want to talk about is, it was like a casual date, nothing serious, and we're actually at my grand's house, and to be honest, I didn't really, like, I liked him, but I didn't like him. That sounds really bad. Okay, so we're at my grand's house, and my grand's house is big. It has a bunch of rooms, you know. I might have talked about it before in my first video. I can't really remember, but she has quite a few rooms in her house, and I have my own room there that I call mine. And I had one of my friend date type person there. Let me just tell you about the history of my grand's house. There's a lady, and we call her Mam Mam. Mam Mam was my grand's aunt who adopted her, and before she died, she lived with my gram in the house, and, well, I'm assuming she either was visiting or living there. I'm not sure. She was older, but I wasn't born yet. This is probably like 30 years before I was born, about. And so anyways, Mam Mam is a very well-known legend around with my family, especially the kids. I know some of my uncles would always tease us kids when I was younger. They would always tease us about Mam Mam's gonna get you if you don't behave, Mam Mam this, Mam Mam that. You know, Mam Mam was known as a very strict woman. Like, she was loving and caring towards her kids, but she was very strict about dating. Like, I know when my grandma was younger, anytime she'd have like a boy come over, Mam Mam, I guess, would like chase them around with a broom saying, "Get away, get away, get away." Anyways, so Mam Mam was very strict. But she died actually in my grand's house upstairs in one of the bathrooms. She had a heart attack in the bathroom. And this, mind you, this will be the same floor and the same kind of hallway where I was when this experience happened. I had a friend over, and we're in my room sitting. I think we're like watching a DVD or something, and he starts making out with me. My computer just like... So he starts making out with me, and I was a little uncomfortable with it. I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. And since my grand's house is so old, during the winter it gets really cold because so many air drafts and breeze comes in, and the windows aren't sealed the best way and things like that. The house is basically like, I don't want to say falling apart, because it's like a nice house. Like, it's a big nice house, but it's just so old that it's aging it's aging. So what she does to most of the bedrooms upstairs during the wintertime, she'll put tape around the doors to keep them closed during the winter. Like, she'll seal them with, like, Scotch tape. So me and my friend were sitting on my bed. He starts making out with me, and this never happened before, but the tape on top of the door was, like, cracked open. And this door is like really old, and it will shut by itself all the time. Like, if you have it open, it shuts by itself all the time. And so it's just like really old, and the floors are slanted kind of and stuff like that. But the tape on top of the door, so he starts making out with me for a little bit. The tape on top of the door is like shaking really, really viciously. Like, it's like non-stop shaking. Like, it's not wind at all. It's shaking. Like this, like, it was shh, and like I'm like, what the heck is that? It's like, okay, here's a piece of paper. It wasn't, okay, so say it was the wind. say it was the wind. The wind would probably like make it shake like that. And I honestly, it was during the summertime, but I honestly did not feel a breeze at all. And being in that room, you'd at least hear a wind or you'd feel a breeze or something. I didn't feel a thing. I didn't hear anything. There were trees outside. They were pretty much still. But if it was the wind or any type of draft, you would think the paper would just, the tape, mind you, tape, would just like flow or it'd like slant or whatever. It was going like that, as if someone was like flickering it. So anyways, I jump up and I'm looking at it and I'm like dumbfoundedly looking at this piece of tape that's flicking back and forth so fast. And I'm just like, okay. Like, I didn't think of that at first. I was just thinking it was the wind or draft or whatever, even though I didn't feel anything. But it was the best I could think of. I'm like, okay, whatever. Mam Mam did pop into my mind a little bit, but I didn't think too much of it. I was just thinking, because it's an old house, the door moves by itself anyways, and the house creaks, the house is crooked. I didn't think about it being a spirit, you know. So we stopped for a little bit and then we start making out again. And when we stopped, it was done. Like, after I looked at it for a little while, I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. It stopped and we stopped for a little bit. And then we start making it again. And it starts again. It does the same fast flickering motion. And I'm like, okay. And this time, the second time I went, Mam Mam really went through my head. And I'm like, I think it's her. Like, we can't do this anymore. And I like push him off. I'm like, no. Something there. It doesn't like this. No, we gotta stop doing it. And he kept going, no, it's fine. He just kept trying to make out with me. And it stopped when I said, no. Let's just stop. Like, we're pissing it off, I think. And he was like, no, it's fine. And he starts making out with me again. I didn't want to be rude, so whatever. So start making out again, and it keeps going. And then this time it's like not stopping. And I'm like, seriously, no, get off me. Like, it does not want us to be here. Let's just get out. Like, let's get out of here. But I'm not saying it was the ghost, but to be honest, I really do think it was Mam Mam, because I don't think whatever, she didn't like it. Which, the funny thing is I've had sex in that room before and after, and nothing happened like that. So it's strange. Like, I've actually had sex in that room before with someone, and then after that incident with someone else. So it must have been him that she didn't like. I don't know. So yeah, that's that story. So the second story goes into, I was dating a guy, and we were at his house in his room, and he moved in that house, I think 5 to 3 years prior to this event. And the house before he lived in, he used to live in a graveyard, and he said he always used to, you know, hang out in the graveyard and stuff. And so he moved into this house, and they were there for probably 5 to 3 years, and we started dating. He was on his computer playing a game, and I was just sitting on his bed, and I start randomly thinking about my Uncle John. If you don't know who that is, he's in my first video I have. I'll probably be talking more and more about him with other videos, because he's a very big influence in my paranormal experiences and just a connection with it. But anyway, so I was thinking about my Uncle John. Just randomly too, like nothing really came up. Like I was just sitting there and just Uncle John just popped in my head. I'm like, okay, Uncle John, yeah, I miss you, Uncle John, you know, like whatever. And in the corner of his room on the opposite side where he was, it was like in the corner of his room on his ceiling. It was stuck in the ceiling. It was just like a little, I don't know what it was really, but it was like a little thing that he made out of like, I think like copper wire and a stone or something. And I was just staring at it, thinking about my Uncle John. And out of nowhere, the thing falls down, and I'm like, what was that? Like, I'm like, what was that? And he turns around and he's like freaking out. And I'm like, okay. He's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, oh, that never fell. It's been up there. I've put that up there since I first moved here. And I'm like, what was that? And he's like, it's a thing that keeps spirits away, since I used to live in a graveyard and stuff. And right then and there, I'm like, my Uncle John just knocked that down. Or something just knocked it down. Like, it had to have been something, because I was just thinking about some dead person and it fell down. And you put that up there to keep spirits away. That's a short story. It's very interesting though, like, once he said that, everything clicked. But yeah, I just feel like I have spirits around me. Spirits are always around me. I know there's an energy in my room or just around me, just in my house. I've always sensed stuff in my house. And my mom the other day, she says, oh yeah, ever since you were like 12 or 11, I've always sensed something in your room and it's for you. No. It's creepy how she said it. I'm like, she's like, I've always sensed something in your room. And I'm like, what is it? What do you think it is? She's like, I don't know, but it's for you. And I'm like, gee, thanks. That's a little creepy. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love ghosts, I love spirits and everything, but like, I honestly could chicken out living in a haunted house. Like, I kind of do. It's not like haunted, but it has energy in it. I can definitely feel energy in my house. But I just can't stand the fact of like sleeping, having a dead person watching me, let alone a live person. Like, I just think it's so creepy. Like I can't even sleep with the covers off my feet anymore. And it's because when I was really young, I was watching this like ghost story experience TV show, and this guy was in the hotel room, and it showed like a person as a ghost, but he was sleeping and his foot was uncovered, and this ghost boy, it wasn't a real ghost boy, but it was like a little boy that they turned into a ghost on the show. He was like playing with his toes, and I'm like, that's it. I have to keep my feet covered because I'm not wanting any ghosties touching me when I'm sleeping. It's time to blow out these candles. I have 3 candles lit right now. 3 candles. 3 of them. It's like my lighting. But I like to use candles for my ghost lighting because it's like a fiery, like a campfire kind of thing, and it's just fun because I feel like I'm on a campfire just like telling you guys like all these stories and all these ghost stories. Wasn't it just fun learning about my ex-boyfriends and how they're just connected to spirits I've been with? Thank you guys for watching and enjoying my videos. If you do enjoy them, do you? I don't know, comment me and tell me what I should do. Tell me in the comments what you think, what you want to see, what you want to hear, anything. If you have any questions, definitely comment. Bye! I always thought that was a moose when like people would do that. They'd be like, I'm like, you look like a moose. Is that supposed to be a moose, or is it just like a random funny face? Because to me, you look like a moose. Okay, so I guess that's all we have for today. So definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.